Alright, I'm going to show you how to play Raining Blood by Slayer. And this is tuned down to half step. So, the intro starts out with 3 open E's, then 9th fret of the A string, then 10 of the D string, then 11, then 10, then 11 of the A string, then 10, 9, and then 10 of the A string, and then 9 and 8 of the D string. And that's the first, that's the lower part. Then after that you go to the high part, which is played on the 7th fret of the D string. Basically you just move up one set of strings. So you go up to the 7th fret of the A string, then 10, 11, 10 on the G string, then 11, 10, 9, 10, 9, 8. It's the same pattern, just another set of strings down. So it sounds like this. And then the next part is triplets part. Be sure to use palm muting on this part, and so use speed picking, and it's just up and up, down, up. That's all. That's just the pattern. And what you do is you just start slowly. And work up to Slayer speed. Then the little thing, that is an open E, then 2nd fret, then 4th fret, then 4th fret of the A string, then 3rd fret of the D string, 2nd fret, and then 3rd fret of the A string, and 2nd fret. Do that 4 times. And after that there's a smosh part, which I cannot do to save my life, but I know basically how you play it. And what it is a series of 4 descending frets. And what you can do are pull-offs, and you start 5th fret of the E string to pull off to the 3rd, then the 2nd, then open, and then you move up a half step, that same formation, so that your pinky's on the 6th fret. And it's just crazy, I can't do that. And then there's a chord right in the middle of that. I think you do that 2 times. And then the chord, which is a power chord with your 1st finger on the 1st fret of the A string, 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the D string. And then 4 more times. And each of these times you do 4 of these, which is 2 sets of both half steps. And then after that you do power chord with your 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the A string and your 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the D string. And then you move up a whole step so that your 1st finger is on the 5th fret. Yeah, I have no idea how to do that. Then after that, the verse is a power chord formation with your 1st finger on the 8th fret of the A string and your 3rd finger on the 10th fret of the D string, and you're going to use those 2 strings for this verse. So just keep your fingers on these 2 strings. And it's rapid picking for the low E string, and then you strum this first power chord, and then what I do is a slide up, so that my first finger is on the 12th fret, and then slide down a half step so my first finger is on the 11th. And then after that you strum the E string a little faster, and then you move your power chord down so that your first finger is on the 7th fret of the A string, and you strum it twice. Then you move up so that your first finger is on the 10th fret of the A string. And then this next part is slowed down a lot, and what it is 3 strums on the E string, and you start on the 7th fret of the A string, you hammer on to the 10th fret, and then you hammer on from the 8th fret to the 9th fret. And then after that, you strum it 3 more times. Then from the 7th fret to the 9th fret. And then 8th fret to the 7th fret on the D string. And then you make a power chord with your pinky on the 8th fret of the G string, your ring finger on the 8th fret of the D string, and your first finger on the 6th fret of the A string. And you strum that a whole bunch of times. And then move down a half step and 1 set of strings down so that your first finger is on the 5th fret of the E string. You strum it twice. You do that 4 times. And then you go back to the chorus. And that's all I'm going to show you for part 1 of how to play Raining Blood.